for the link so I can.
I don't know what I'm looking at. Where I'm looking for it. Sorry. I had a moment.
It's okay. It is okay.
Alright, how does the stream look and sound to everyone?
I'm trying to find it right now.
I got the notification on my phone, so I'm just waiting for my YouTube on my laptop to show it.
I don't know why I'm trying to do this on my phone when I fully have a computer right in front of me that I can put on. I can use.
Trigger.
Well.
Keep going, Daniel.
There you go.
My bags are having a problem right
Looks
here.
good on my
Like,
phone.
pardon, do I go here?
Yeah.
Alright, so it's gonna be a bit difficult for me to like keep in touch with the chat, so
That's okay, we got you.
We can do
We
it.
got you.
I'm gonna leave that up to you guys because I have to like literally turn my head to the side. So
Can you like move it closer to your laptop at all?
I mean it's like there's a table here and then there's a table here. So like the table ends right there and then this table begins right there. So
nice jams.
thank you. It's turtles. Non-ninja turtles. No. Okay, so I think we can start. Hopefully everyone didn't get pissed off because we came and then we left and then we came again and we left.
Well, if they are, then I guess I'm sorry
Yeah.
that they are.
I will give you my plastic tripod.
Ooh.
I will not give you my not plastic tripod.
I have a pretty nice tripod, so I will also not give it to you.
But I will give you this pack of extra blue tack that I have.
I used so much of that in college.
Nail polish.
Actually, I'll just give you one stick of the blue tack from the
One stick.
You can have my broken glasses from when I got a concussion a year ago.
That's so horrible.
Empty smoothie
It was
bottle.
really
Going once,
funny,
going
actually.
twice.
No, concussions are so bad. Like
I didn't
brown
realize I
is
had a
more crayon.
concussion.
Just the paper for a crayon. In case you got a crayon missing the paper, you can. It's in perfect condition. it's
The wrappers.
it's just.
Tell you what, you can have one of my sour keys. Only one.
Oh my gosh.
Generous. Too
Oh
generous. What
my
are you
gosh.
You
Crazy.
can have this Ethernet cable that I'm gonna give to. No, I gotta give it to Cliff.
I can't find the stream.
I gotta give. I've got too many Ethernets.
Tell you what, you can have my Xbox 360 because I'm getting rid of it anyways.
Oh damn! How will you play the Borderlands?
Alright, so I
have
got
it
the
on
live chat
Steam.
here. I can
Okay.
kind of pay attention.
No.
Lean it.
Yeah, I got mine right here too, so.
This
Alright.
is my drop spindle.
So, everyone watching, I apologize for the delay. We were supposed to start like over an hour ago, but my computer over here is having some weird issue to where if I put on Discord or Skype or whatever and then I use OBS to record something, it immediately mutes everything. It mutes my microphone, it mutes everyone else, and it makes the webcam stutter. So I have to figure that out. It was working last week. I took all of the guts from my PC and put it inside of another thing, and I may have messed something up. Maybe I just like need to reinstall Windows or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna fix that so everything will be back to normal next week. But for now, I'm on my laptop. So,
It's all good.
yeah. It looks like there's kind of like a weird delay with mine. I don't know. Anyways, you guys ready?
See?
Yes!
Alright, will you be able to read the names, Daniel?
The names
Yeah. When we
on
get
the
to
list
it?
of
Yeah.
like the Patreon people.
Yeah.
I can do this. Yes. I
Alright.
think I'll manage.
Everyone's ready?
Yes.
Alright. Hello everyone, I am Jesse, or Game Over Jesse, as all of you may know me Here with us on episode 69 of the Hylian Gamescast is Chablima to my left, Daniel above her, and Ilya above me. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of really cool news. Hopefully we'll have time to quickly get through everything. We're going to be talking about a Metroid Prime leak from a website where they, I guess, accidentally uploaded the release date and some other details. We're going to be talking about Link's family just being deleted by Nintendo, apparently, and a lot of other stuff. Is my microphone? I don't know.
Yeah,
Microphone.
we hear you.
Yeah.
We're just all really attentive.
We just-
Yeah, we were listening.
No,
I don't
like,
want to
it's-
interrupt you.
I don't know. I think the thing killed me. Having to worry about everything. Alright, so yeah. So we're going to be
We will
talking about a lot
revive
of
you.
stuff. And we're going to be ending it with our Zelda mailbag, where we answer questions sent in from people like yourself. But sometimes we get too many questions sent in. So what happens, Daniel?
Well, if you want to guarantee that we actually get to your question, you should go check out the old Game Over Just the Patreon. And you can join our lovely other patrons, and you can just, for even $1 or however much you feel inclined to chip in, you'll be included in our lovely list of friends, including Wild Horse 64, Samuel, Ranjamin, Foxo, Andrew, Jonathan, David, Amanda, Jacob, Derek, Blargnar, Michelle, Mandy Lee Plays, Michael, Elmer, Bootleg Boy, Vortex, Gus, Monica, Link Use the Triforce, Lunarium, Shadow to Us, Rusty, Lovable Christy, and Fallen Echo. Thank you so much, all of you guys, for the support. We appreciate it all the time. So much love. Yes.
Alright. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Would you like to take us into our first news story, Daniel?
Sure.
I guess whichever one you feel like
Whichever
taking. If you
one.
want, you can take the one that's listed as one.
The one that Tube's name is right beside.
Yeah, you can take that one.
No, it's all good. I'm actually, I'm really bad at this. I'll just jump in with it anyway. Sorry, Tubes. It's the first one on the list here. This news comes from GoNintendo.com, although you probably have seen it as well, some numerous other outlets reporting on this, but there was someone who was data mining in the NES app. So the article is from GoNintendo Switch Online NES app data mined. There's mention of 22 different SNES games found. So it goes, for a while now, people have been saying that they want a traditional virtual console service on the Switch. Nintendo has said that their Switch Online NES app is the way things will be handled when it comes to classic content. The service isn't a bad idea by any means, but the trickle feed of games that the NES-only titles are what's rubbing people the wrong way. The thing is, it looks like that might be changing in the near future. A data miner named Kapu has been, I don't know if it's Kapu or if that's how the vowels go, but has been sniffing around the Switch NES Online app, and he noticed something very interesting. Tucked deep inside the data was mention of 22 different SNES games. The lineup includes Super Mario Kart, Super Soccer, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Demon's Crest, Yoshi's Island, Stunt Race SFX, Kirby's Dream Course, Poppin' Twinbee, Star Fox, Contra, Kirby Superstar, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Super Metroid, Super Mario World, Pilot Wings, F-Zero, Star Fox 2, Super Punch-Out, The Legend of the Mystical Ninja, Super Mario All-Stars, and Breath of Fire 2. Interestingly, Star Fox 2 was originally the SNES Classic Edition exclusive, so that might be coming to the Switch Online server as well. But Yes, this is really exciting news because the Switch, in my opinion, is a perfect way to play Super Nintendo games because it has all the right buttons in all the right places.
All the right buttons.
Perfect.
Well, it does, because if you play, like, when, like, N64 games, for example, are ported to Wii U or to, on, like, the GameCube collector's discs and things like that, there's a sort of a disconnect for me because those games were not designed for that controller, and so the buttons have to be remapped, you know, and that doesn't have to be the case with the Switch because it's got the exact same button layout as the Super Nintendo. So I also just really love the Super Nintendo and its games. So same.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there was.
Any thoughts, friends?
Did you get the second part of that story
The other part. Okay. Yes.
about the other emulators?
Yes. Part B. Data miners. Also, this is also from GoNintendo.com. There's mention of 4 separate emulators in the Switch Online NES app. So, a data miner called Oatmeal Dome, has been snooping around inside the Switch's Online NES app and has led to the discovery of something very interesting. In the source code, the app makes mention of 4 different emulators. Those emulators are Kachi Kachi, which is actually the emulator for the NES Classic Edition. Canoe, which is the SNES Classic Edition, which is behind me here. And
Show off.
there's 2 more, Yoko and Count. So we don't actually know what those other 2 emulators are for yet. My personal theory is that it's a Game Boy Color, which would basically double as Game Boy and Game Boy Color games and Game Boy Advance. But that's just speculation on my part. But the article says the Switch Online NES app plays NES games in almost the exact way that the NES Classic does, which makes it no surprise to see the same emulator being used for the app. Following that, it's not too surprising to see the SNES Classic emulator new mentioned here, as a big list of SNES games were just discovered in the app by data miners earlier. As for Hiyoko and Count, the only thing we know is that they're emulator names / code names. Now, what platforms they emulate remains to be unseen.
Sorry, I was shaking my desk because of an earthquake.
Ah!
I was just wondering, like, wasn't this desk more sturdy before? Why does it shake so easily? Was it? Anyways.
Yeah, I think this is really awesome because for me, what the most exciting thing is just getting A Link to the Past on the Switch. But I hope they fix the way that it emulates the games to where like it doesn't have that bar at the bottom, and you can just have it full screen. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like at the bottom when you're playing the NES games, there's just like I don't even know what it is. There's like a random bar that has the buttons and stuff to tell you what to do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just like the controls on it?
Yeah.
Is that on the Switch NES? Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah,
I if they could even just have a way to toggle it off, you know.
Yeah, it's all
That would be
Daniel's
good.
fault.
It is. That's correct.
I'm really excited about this. I hope that there are a couple of other games that they would add for the SNES, because I know that's like a speculated, like, yeah, like Earthbound. I could do with some Knights of Round. I'm happy that Contra's on there because Contra is my jam. Also just some like really weird ones.
You call me a gaming masochist.
What?
Contra is so hard.
It is so hard, but I love it. It's so much fun to play with people because they get so frustrated, and like I've played so much of it that I can get pretty decently like far. What else would I want to see?
That Mystical Ninja game, is that anything like the one for Nintendo 64? Like, is that a prequel to it, or am I getting
the one
titles
for
mixed
N64
up?
is like totally different. Well, actually, no, they're pretty similar.
Are they related? Like, is it an actual prequel, or is it just similar names?
So I didn't actually play Mystical Ninja for Super Nintendo. I only played it.
You were like really cutting out. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that's okay. I didn't play it for Super Nintendo at all. I only played it for N64, so I actually I can't tell you. I don't know anything about anything that came before the one for N64.
Oh.
I know nothing.
Huh. No, nor do I.
It's like that weird game that I rented from Blockbuster when I was really young, and I never looked into anything about it after that.
Nice.
Ilya, we haven't heard from you on the matter.
Yes. I mean, I don't have much to say, because I do have the online thing. I played, I think, 5 minutes of Zelda 1, and then I had to go somewhere, so I should go back to it. But I had, like, the easy version, so I felt weird. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
no, I want to do it the real way. Not that there's anything wrong with doing it the easier way. But anyway, as far as, like, games that I would want, I don't really know NES games, but as far as SNES, I want Mario Paint.
Mario Paint, yeah.
Well,
What do you do about the mouse? What do you do about the mouse? Is it just
touchscreen, maybe?
Substitute? Maybe touch.
It'd be interesting if, like, maybe the mouse part of it was like you have to be playing on a screen, and so you use your finger as the mouse, and you're using the touchpad, like the touch screen part of your Switch. Like if you had your Switch in handheld mode. Wait, you can't do that. That literally made no sense.
That's not a Wii
I'm
U.
sorry.
That's you're thinking of the.
I know I am. Okay, maybe it's something you can only do in handheld mode.
Maybe, but like there are
Because,
games
like,
already.
the fly swatting.
Yeah.
But you could probably do that with the joysticks. I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have too much to say on the matter. I just because I had a Super Nintendo, and then I went through this weird phase of like no one I know really plays video games. I don't really play my Super Nintendo. I don't think I'm gonna be into this, and I sold it. I would be more upset if I had A Link to the Past and sold it, but I didn't have that game, so I feel a little okay. But there were a lot of games, so I'm really annoyed with myself about that. But I played Mario Paint more than anything. And also, it would be a chance to get a Link Pass. I want a Link to the
Ooh, also Yoshi's Tetris was really fun.
Ooh.
And Lord of the Rings was
Super
fun.
nice.
And Prince of Persia. And Claymates. I can go on forever. The
There's a
SNES is like
lot.
a console that I played a lot of.
Hmm.
I don't know why. It was just
It's
like
real.
that one that for whatever reason, like I think it's because I was always hooked up. My parents loved playing Super Mario. And
Fair
so
Yeah, oh, I played some of those. And the
Yeah.
old Mario Kart for that one, too.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also they had a really good Simpsons too.
Really? Huh?
Yeah.
I never played a Simpsons
Interesting.
game on the NES, or SNES, but I realized Donkey Kong Country, the whole trilogy, is not on this list as well.
Oh,
And,
Interesting.
I wonder if
alright.
there's any licensing issue, but they had it. Pretty sure it's on the classic edition.
So
I kind of want to double check.
I think what that
I'm
is
gonna check.
just like they have the initial release of the games, and then the same way that we're getting Zelda 2 this upcoming month for the NES, I think some of the other games will just slowly trickle out.
It does
Um,
have Donkey Kong Country,
yeah.
so I don't know why it's not on the list.
You were gone while
Huh.
I was explaining it, but I think it's like how we're getting Zelda 2 this month
Right.
or next month.
So it'll be in the sort of a later rollout, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like Super
That's-
Mario RPG or whatever. But since we were on the subject of Super Nintendos, this was a Christmas present from my mom last year.
She has good taste.
Ooh. Yes, good choice.
It didn't have any games with it, just like 2 controllers. One was like an off-brand weird controller, and then all the cables and stuff. But the cool thing about this is, you know how they had like the fire retardant stuff that they put on the plastic, and over
Yes.
time, depending on how much fire retardant stuff they put on the plastic, is what caused it to get yellow and look all
Yeah.
ugly and stuff. So that's why the plastic like changes colors. But if you look at this one, it has not changed any color.
Yeah, it looks pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a price tag here. So guess how much this was?
150.
Well, I don't know.
$40.
Remember, it's like not brown or ugly looking at all. And it had
200.
2 controllers, all the cables.
But no games.
Yeah. No games.
$15. 15 American dollars.
Let's see if this comes up.
No,
It's not clearing up.
It looks like it says 420.
$4.
Yeah, it looks like it says 400 something.
Oh, wait, there it was.
Is it $4?
$4.99.
$5.
500? $5.
5.
There's no decimal point, so I don't know.
My
Jess,
mom.
oh my gosh.
My mom spent
$5.
$5 on my Christmas present.
Does it work though?
Yeah, I just don't have games.
Is it out? How do you know it works?
Well, I mean, with the Super Nintendo, it's either going to be cheap like that, or it's going to be like $100.
Well, like
So why
came
wouldn't
with.
you go?
Okay, so there was a used game store a long time ago, and I had like some old cables for the original NES, and it was just the one that plugs into the back that like you have to screw onto the TV, the RF adapter, I think's what it was called, and I got like $10 just for that one cable, to trading it in.
Wow.
Because apparently they're so rare because everyone just threw them out or like got the red, yellow, white cable or whatever. But that cable, for some reason, they were given like a lot of money, and I just had like a box of old stuff for like old consoles and cables and controllers, so that was really cool. But yeah, $5 for that. It's really
impressive.
Really cool. Yeah, it still has the sticker on it, and then like just the SNES controller alone, you could probably like sell that for $5 or $10.
I have
Easily.
2, but I don't have a console, so I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll take
That is
one.
odd.
But yeah, going back to it, I think Donkey
have
Kong
one.
is just one of the games that they'll release later on. Like, was Super Metroid on there?
You would hope so.
Better release Earthbound.
Yeah. But was Super Metroid on the list?
Super Metroid is, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, trust me, I noticed.
Is there any games that any of you guys want on there? Before we move on to the next one?
I basically listed like 20 games, so I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had my one Mario Paint.
Mario Paint.
Yeah. My big, Donkey Kong, Earthbound, those are the big ones for me. That aren't already on there.
Earthbound. I would like to see... Oh, I don't want to mess up the name. Oh, jeez. It was like
I don't
Illusion of Gaia, I think, is the name of it.
Yes, that is the name of it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Secret of
because
Mana.
I used to call it Legend of Gaia, but it was Illusion of Gaia. It was really cool. I still have dreams about that game. And I played it like 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yes, Illusion of Gaia is correct. Yeah, no, that would... If they had that, Secret of Mana and Illusion of Gaia, I think are both pretty big classics for the Super Nintendo.
So the Mana game would be really cool because it's like one of the few 3-player SNES games. Like you have to have like a weird adapter to play 3 players. But all of the games are supposed to be online multiplayer. So if that did come out, then you'd be able to do that. And it also makes me wish we had Zelda 3, because it was going to be like 3-player multiplayer as well.
Oh, yeah.
So like that would have been cool. But then we
If
got
they added it to
Triforce
the list,
Heroes. So
it would be a great opportunity for me to actually get around to playing Chrono Trigger. Because a lot of people tell me that that is a really good game. But then I'm really have a huge backlog of games that I haven't played, and I just play Zelda over and over again instead of getting to those.
yeah.
That's
Everybody
same
in the-
game forever.
Everybody in the chat, let us know what games you would like to see on there. And going to the second thing was they found 4 emulators on there. One being the NES emulator, the second being the SNES emulator. So there would be a third and fourth mystery emulator. So what do you guys think that would be? I think the obvious choice would be... I don't know if they would have separate ones for Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. They could, but I don't know why they would do that. Or it could just be like a Game Boy Advance that could play Game Boy Advanced and Game Boy, and then they could have N64. So,
I really would love an N64 personally.
I would
The Game
love-
Boy Advance would
yeah.
be awesome too, because technically, yeah, the Game Boy Advance could play at least the first one, not N64. Game Boy games, so that would be awesome, and that would add quite a few Zelda games, if I'm not mistaken, or at least a couple, right?
Yeah, like the Oracle games, Link's Awakening, Minish Cap. Like those
that's what I thought.
There's
Four
a Link to the Past, updated A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
That came with 4 Swords.
It would bring a lot of Zelda.
Oh, and that would have been multiplayer
a lot of Zelda
too.
I haven't played. Yeah, because 4 Swords, so multiplayer on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
Instead of having to have like cables attached to everyone.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, no, I would, that would be really cool.
And Pokemon games too. Old Pokemon games.
Yeah.
I still have my Game Boy. Actually, I think I have
Me too.
But I never had a Game Boy Advance. So it was like the one that I missed out on. And so I haven't played anything that ever happened on there, so.
Nice.
I have like a shoebox that has all of my old portable game system, my Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance SP, and Game Boy DS.
Nice. Yeah, I have like 4 DSs. I would have 5, but I gave one when I was younger because my friends broke, and I felt bad for him because it was all he had, so I gave him my DSi.
Oh,
that's nice.
Good heart.
When I was in 6th or 7th grade, I forget. I think it was 6th grade. But I was in middle school. And at the time, he was like kind of a friend, but I traded my deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards to him for a Game Boy with Final Fantasy 2 or 3? I don't know. It was one of them. But then like the English and the Japanese versions, like the numbers were mixed up. So I don't even remember which version it was, but it was really cool. And then there was a kid on my bus like a week or so later that asked to borrow it. Me being the nice guy that I am, I let him borrow it, and then I never seen it again.
No.
Yeah.
And then I guess it's kind of odd to say, but my sister-in-law, right? That's correct. My brother's wife would be my sister-in-law. Yeah, that's odd. But anyways, I was looking, like, she has her office that has like a bunch of stuff in it, and I was looking for some kind of cable for my laptop, or like a USB or something, and she had like an original Nintendo licensed case that you would put your fat Game Boy in, like the first model, with like all the games and accessories and everything that came with it. And whenever I seen it, it was like coming across, like, imagine you're a Yiga and you come across like a pile of bananas. That's that's how it was for me. But yeah, I think we can move on to the next topic, right?
Yeah, okay.
Who wants to go?
Since I stole tubes.
Okay. I had another backup, so.
Okay.
Also, just out of curiosity, did you have something about Metroid 4 that you were going to talk about, Jesse?
It was the leak that was on there. Why?
Oh, just because it's in the title of our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's actually in our Google Doc. I can try and find the article, though.
Uh-oh.
I think I still have it open over here. If my microphone would reach.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
This is what happens when you guys watch the not edited version of...
Woo!
Posted it in the Discord.
They love it. They know it.
Yeah. Do you guys see it in the Discord?
I see.
I do see.
It's so weird. Like, I have a mouse right here and a mouse right here. And it's like, there's the left. I'm surrounded. There's like 4 monitors here. Like, this is completely unnecessary. But it's what happens when... I'm talking about this is completely unnecessary, and Daniel has 2 N64 stacked on top of each other. So, if anyone is unnecessary...
I was gonna say I
Your
saw
point
that.
is...
No, it's like the the Sega 32X thing, to where like you just
That's
like
up
put
to
the
easier.
giant thing on top of it? Oh.
Because I got a second one. Someone bought me one of this guy right here for Christmas, but then I already have
I remember
one
you
behind me,
saying that.
and I feel really guilty. I don't know what to do about it.
I
so-
have Link's Awakening on here that I was doing live streams of.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
There's people on my Facebook that I'm friends with that posted pictures of like, oh, I got the NES Classic. I'm so excited, but it's like the knockoff thing that comes with like all of the NES games. So it has like hundreds and hundreds. And I'm like, no, don't.
That's the
Yeah.
Not gonna work well.
It's as bad as the people that like steal artwork from someone and then like print it on their shirt. Oh, look, you can see the rainbow. Right?
Ooh.
Like there's no point to the LEDs because no one literally sees it.
Well, you see it.
They say you see it, and it
All right.
chew.
So who wants to take the Metroid thing? Or what were you gonna take, Tubes? You can take it.
Well, this one's more interesting than the one that I was gonna do.
Okay. Do the thing.
I will do the Metroid thing.
All right. And then if you
Okay.
the highlighted thing is the
Yes,
how I
yes,
was
yes,
gonna
yes.
start all of it.
Yes. All right, so hello everyone, and welcome to the Hylian Gamescast, episode 69. I'm Chublima. Today we're going to be discussing some exciting news. So this one comes from Nintendo Enthusiast. We love Nintendo Enthusiast, and so we're going to be talking about Metroid 4, and it has a release date. So the article goes on to say, as one of the bigger titles Switch fans are anticipating this year, it's natural that we're all hungry to learn and get our hands on Metroid Prime 4. Fans of the sexy and badass bounty hunter Samus have especially been hungry for this. After all, the last game came out in 2007. If you want to count Metroid Prime Trilogy, that came out for Wii in 2009. Well, it seems that the holidays are prime for sorry. I wish I read forward and didn't read that, but
Well, now I can't make that joke later, so I'm a little disappointed.
I know the look on your face, you were upset. Anyways. Prime for some first-person arm cannon action, according to a listing on a retailer's Super Gamer. Oh, we could expect Metroid Prime 4 on November 29th, 2019. Without confirmation from Nintendo, this is clearly one for the rumor pile. Although it does make sense to have such big releases come out late this year. This would certainly place Metroid Prime 4 as the big Switch title to get for Christmas, but also give plenty of time for media, content creators, and fans to check out the game during upcoming events. Ooh, don't be surprised if E3 2019 gives us a tasty helping of gameplay to sink our teeth into. And yeah, that's it. It's all the interesting stuff. Other than that, it's just all maladies.
So
It's just in time for Christmas.
yeah, Daniel,
Christmas.
you're the resident Metroid fan. So
I guess.
what are your
that's
thoughts
me.
on all this?
That's a good launch window, honestly. Like end of November, early December. It makes the sense because you gotta get them holiday sales. Just wish it were a little earlier in November because then it just breezes right past my birthday. And I always have this issue. People are like, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I was like, "Well, nothing that comes out in time for my birthday." That would be really cool. But if it were coming out end of this year, I expect that we'll see something about it during the summer. Then Nintendo will probably start talking about it. Just because lately Nintendo is pretty well just clammed up about things until like the year that they're releasing it. So could have a big Metroid blowout at E3.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least one small demo of it at E3, and they'll be talking about something else. I don't know, but it makes sense. I can't really compare it in line with the other release dates because it's pretty far removed from like the rest of the Metroid series. It's been like 11 years since Metroid Prime 3, I think.
My goodness.
10 years, 11 years. I can't remember if it's 2008 or 2009. I think 2009.
What? It said 2007 in the article.
that Metroid Prime 3 came out?
Oh, that just says the
No.
last game. It doesn't say which game.
What? The last game... Or was it the trilogy that came out? Oh...
The trilogy came
right.
out and... Oh, it said the trilogy came out in 2009.
I'm pretty sure that Metroid Prime 3 released later than 2007. I think, like off the top of my head, I think it released later than
It
that.
says 2007. In Japan,
the
for whatever reason, it released in 2008.
Yeah. So do they just not count?
Okay. You know what?
Other
That's
M?
fine. I guess that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's weird.
maybe my memory's going on me, but because so I
You're
move
getting
a
old,
lot.
Daniel.
I move a lot, and in the last 10 years, I've moved something like 8 or 9 times. And
Oh,
just based
jeez.
on where I was living at the time that I remember it being released, I'm certain it was 2009, 2008 or 9. But I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna find the Wikipedia because that's the best source of information.
Oh yeah. Also, my favorite thing
Release.
about this entire news article is just a picture of Samus.
You know, maybe it was me. Maybe I was late getting it, and I was like, "Oh golly, there's a new Metroid game," and I was all happy about it. But I was late to the wagon and didn't know it. It's entirely possible.
That's the nice thing about that 2007, 2008, 2009 period. I felt like the internet was this weird dead zone.
Yeah.
Spoilers didn't happen as easily as they happen now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember
There was
my friend telling
the-
me he got the trilogy, and that was in 2009.
Are you by any chance thinking about the Wind Waker Metroid Prime bundle?
I don't know anymore.
Huh?
Yeah, because they bundled the 2 games together in the same thing.
But that was the GameCube.
Yeah, it was the GameCube.
I don't know. I don't know, guys. All bets are off. Daniel's memory sucks. So.
But it was like Nintendo's last effort to sell GameCubes before the Wii came out. So I don't know. Anyways,
Even still, I mean, it's been a long time since we have had a Prime game, and yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows when it'll come out, really? But I mean, the retailer leaks are more reliable than random internet leakers. But
Yeah.
the most reliable leak is when Nintendo accidentally puts something on their website.
Yes.
That they
Which
want
has
to
happened
do.
a lot.
Nintendo.
which I'm hoping maybe they'll do that at some point.
you also have to think. So like Black Friday or whatever. Like I don't see Nintendo missing out on that. Like I feel like they would put their game out like a week before, and then have like all those holiday sales and stuff. I don't know. Maybe even like have a bundle with the Nintendo Switch like they did with Pokemon and Smash Bros. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, they had the Metroid Samus Returns 3DS bundle with the cool orange 3DS.
What was this? Spoilers,
Ooh,
Game
yeah.
Over Jesse is awesome. Thank you.
That's a good spoiler. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spoilers,
Shoobs.
God, I was.
Cosplay as Isabel. Yeah. Sorry guys, I haven't been able to
blonde.
pay attention to the chat because although I am surrounded by screens, they are all too far away and I'm kind of blind today.
It's all good.
Yeah. Like I used to have like 20/20 vision or whatever, but lately everything's been blurry and it sucks.
You got old and need glasses.
Yeah, because there's been a few times like on the podcast where I'm just like looking 3 feet away and I'm like, I cannot read that. I don't know what's going on. Someone help. But I don't have insurance, so I can't get glasses. So I'll move to Canada and Daniel and I can get married and then I'll have insurance through the benefits, right?
I can only legally be married to one person at a time.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise that's polygamy,
Yeah, but like...
which is technically illegal in most countries.
Sorry, Troops
I'd
is
say
gonna have
come
to
to-
marry you.
I'd say come to Canada and marry Cameron, but Cameron doesn't have benefits, so you'll have to marry me.
But like, I thought all Canadians had benefits and insurance and stuff.
Well, you have like general like healthcare, so if you need, but like certain things are not covered. Dental, I believe, is, or I think there's some basic dental, but not like special stuff. And eye care and glasses are not.
Okay. So,
but if you are dying and you know you go to the hospital because your arm got cut off and you're bleeding out, you will be treated and then be able to walk
sounds like
out
a
and
typical Thursday night.
Have to pay like your entire life savings for it, though. We got that going for us.
Yep.
Alright, so like, did everyone see Infinity War?
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you know like when that raccoon gives Thor a new eyeball?
Rocket. Yeah.
That's
That
kind of what I need. I need someone to give me a new eyeball.
Oh.
I need new glasses,
Normal stuff.
but my insurance also does not cover dental or eye care. Covers everything else.
Has there ever been an eye transplant?
Maybe?
I remember watching on like Ripley's Believe It or Not or something like that, where someone had like a digital camera like plugged in to their vision to where like they could see like white and black dots making up the image. I don't know, it was weird.
That is it.
An eye transplant. Let us know in the chat. But yeah, Metroid. I
Yes.
I see
That's
that
what-
as a placeholder date, because they usually pick like the last day of the month or whatever for that. And I like, when did I was gonna say Sunshine? When did Odyssey release? Or
A couple of years
in
ago?
September of 2017.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it released with the Switch.
yeah,
Not with the Switch. It was in the September. It was a little bit after.
it was a little bit later.
So
It's been like a year and a half.
yeah. So I think it would just follow the same pattern that like Odyssey or Breath of the Wild would have been like a holiday release, but that launched with the system.
With the Switch.
Which they came out with a holiday version, which was like the, what was it, the Heroes thing?
Heroes.
I don't even know.
It had all the DLC, right? Is that what it was?
Well, it came with like an art book or something.
Oh,
Just the
okay.
Explorers Edition.
Yeah, Explorers Edition. That's it.
Right. I have. Yeah, I
That's
have
what
that.
it's called.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
for some reason, speaking of unnecessary things, I have 2 copies of Breath of the Wild.
nice.
So-
But yeah, I would see it coming out around the same time that like Pokemon, Smash Bros, Mario Odyssey, and everything did. That way, it could get all of those like Black Friday deals or like Cyber Monday or whatever everything is.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, that's how I would see it. But I don't know. Like Metroid's always been more of like an older gamer type game. Like Mario mostly for like marketed towards little kids, but Metroid isn't. So I wonder what they would have to market to kids alongside Metroid.
Yeah, Metroid feels like the real gamer kind of game.
Yeah, like
Yes, I mean,
I see it coming out like rated T for teen.
there are some real like there are some parts of Metroid that are real tense and like legitimately scary. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
I tried playing Metroid once.
which one though?
Beats me. It was on GameCube.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, I
there's one or
guess
two.
depends on how it started then, I guess. Did it start where you find the space station that's full of dead people because something happened there, or was it the one where you land on the planet and find all the dead people because something bad happened there?
I think it was the first one because I remember encountering the giant thing in the tube.
Oh yeah, so that was Prime 1. Yeah. 'cause
Okay.
there's a giant space parasite thing.
Prime 2 has that rotten cookie that people are selling for like $100.
What?
What?
Yeah. They sent reviewers a cookie with Metroid Prime 2.
Oh,
And
I knew about this.
yeah, we talked about it in like the top 5 rare GameCube games. But they sent people a bunch of stuff, including cookies, and some people saved them. And obviously, if you save a cookie for like 15 years, it's gonna be all moldy and stuff.
So yeah, it's not well thought out.
I actually would be more concerned if the cookie was still okay.
Yeah.
That would actually be even more concerning.
All right.
You know what? I've seen people eat worse cookies. Funny story. So one time, drank too much, took a bite of a cookie. That was just basically done for the day for me. I left this cookie with a bite in it on the couch and left. I was not feeling good. I left this cookie. 3 weeks later, I went and I returned, and the cookie was still there for whatever reason. I didn't question it. And so we were having an anime night, and we were all watching anime. And my friend's older brother, very large fellow, very strange fellow, he picks up the cookie and he eats it. There's a bite in this cookie, and he ate it.
And it was sitting on the couch?
Yeah, it was just chilling there. He decided that
There's
cookie...
so many red flags to not eat this cookie.
Also, why didn't they clean up their couch? This house is totally clean aside from that cookie. It just boggles my mind. There are worse cookies to be eaten in life, Jesse.
Okay, then.
Alright, I think we're ready to move on to the next one.
This is?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that is awesome.
Adorable.
Who did that?
Aww.
I don't know.
Is that Lunk?
Kauzoa. I got it at the last... I don't know. I got it at the last thing I was... Also, this one is some Daniel Fuel.
Wow.
She's a babe. I love her. Hasn't played Metroid. Has a poster of her.
That
Fake gamer
cool
girl.
Character. She's a cool character.
Yeah. Metroid is cool.
Metroid's a girl?
No, Metroid's the guy in the suit. It's Mega Man's cousin.
Metroid's a girl.
Alright.
What?
So, I don't have the article that I put on there, but I have the article on my phone pulled up. That's a different thing, so I'll just read from it.
What article?
For the first 4 figures thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I had to think. Yeah. Everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Hylian Gamescast, episode 69. On this episode, we've been talking about Metroid Prime, getting a leak from some store, I forgot the name of it, and it's only natural to move on to another Metroid Prime story. This comes from Nintendo Everything, where they say, new look at first 4 figures Metroid Ridley figure. First 4 Figures unveiled a new Metroid Ridley figure over a year ago. This week, the company finally provided an update. The image above is an updated and more detailed reveal, as it is now in its physical stages. The hand in the shot was also included to give everyone an idea as to how the actual statue scales in comparison. So basically, on the edited version, we're going to have a big picture up for everyone, but this is kind of the best that I can do right now.
Woohoo.
And that is too blurry. Yeah, horrible.
Yeah. When I first saw the picture, I thought it was like a screenshot of the Metroid Ridley alt skin in Smash, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it looks real good.
Yeah, but this is basically another first 4 figures statue of Link. It's basically the amiibo pose, but it's like 1,000 times more detailed. Like even the arrows, like I don't know, like you can look like deep inside the thing. So it's really, really cool. This Ridley figure, if it is as cheap as this Link statue was, because they have, like, if you want to buy the Skull Kid statue or any of the other older Zelda statues that they made, they're like $300, $400, $500, $600. Especially like the Skull Kid, Fierce Deity and stuff, they go for a lot. But for some reason, Breath of the Wild Link stays like around $70, $80. I think I actually bought this one for around $40, because it was like half off for some reason. Some website was doing a sale on it, so it was really awesome. And I hope this Ridley one is really cheap as well. But I wanted to bring this up so that anyone who is interested in getting it, hurry and get your pre-orders in when they're available. Otherwise, you'll be paying like hundreds of dollars for it, most likely. But this makes me bring up another question about this. If you guys were able to see the statue, first off, what was your thoughts on it? I know Daniel's probably the only one that's a huge Metroid fan, so he's probably the only one that would be interested in it. I don't know if he would buy it, but if you could have any Nintendo character made into a really detailed statue like this, or some of the other statues that they do, who would it be? And Ilya, why would you choose Isabelle?
You're actually on the right track, though. Because I have mad respect for the Metroid series, and I want Metroid Prime 4 to come out for the people I know, like Daniel, who are big fans, because I'm like, I feel there are games that I'm waiting for. But you're on the right track as far as what I would want a statue of. As far as I would want a statue of. I would love to make a custom villager, like make the villager the way I have it in my game. Pick the outfit, pick what they look like, eyes and everything, so have like a custom villager.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would want a statue of.
Nintendo should really do that with Amiibo. Like, let you create your own Amiibo or something. Like, Xbox or Microsoft, I don't know, whatever the store is, they have the thing to where you can custom create your own controller, like any color that you want. You can have the buttons any color, the sticks any color, the faceplate any color. So like if they can do that with controllers and make them like original for each person that orders them, obviously they're a bit more expensive than just buying a normal controller, but Nintendo could easily do that with Amiibo, I would imagine, to where they just like allow someone to create their Mii or their villager like you're talking about and then have it printed out. I think it would be cool.
Like if you could order it from a site. But I would just love that, to be able to have like a villager statue. That's the way that I would want it, like how I would have mine in my game.
And how does yours look?
Blonde, like not the super light blonde, but the other blonde. There is no curly hair options. One that's like it's down and has like a little bump right here, because I do that with my hair sometimes. One villager I have has sparkly eyes, and I don't like that. But yeah, I would want it to be the New Leaf villagers, not the ones beforehand that are really squat. But yeah, my villager for Happy Home Designer has different colored hair all the time, though. Because that one I just went crazy with, because you can change it on a whim so easily. Whereas, like, in New Leaf, you have to go to Shampoodle, and then you have to answer all these weird questions that I always have to look up a guide to figure out what I want. And I'm like, can we just get rid of that? Can I just choose? Yeah, that's what I would want if I could pick a statue for them to make.
So really quick, this is like a bonus thing. On the GameCube, on the GameCube version of Animal Crossing, which is like the port from the Nintendo 64, they had some games on the GameCube had e-reader accessibility that they made for like the Game Boy Advance, but you could also plug it into the GameCube and unlock stuff. And there was a bunch of stuff in the e-reader cards and stuff for Animal Crossing that you could unlock that did a bunch of really cool stuff that a lot of people never even knew existed. So, just a quick fact that Animal Crossing had a lot of really cool bonus stuff. But Choops, who would your statue be?
Okay, so first off, I looked at First 4 Figures, and oh my goodness, this website is expensive. Please don't tell me. I wish I never saw that.
Yeah. That's why I said like this one was super cheap for some reason. Maybe
it's also
they
sold out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, they're on eBay. Like, but yeah, maybe they just made like 1 million of these, and that's why they were cheap.
I think I would probably do like KK.
Who?
Yeah, KK Slider.
KK Slider.
The dog guitar dog.
So you'd get like Demp or Dempe, the Gravedigger.
No.
No, that would be a weird one to have.
Yeah.
I don't know, like KK. Ooh, if I could do like Lilith from Borderlands, that would be good too. Also,
I'll look
I
up what she looks
don't know.
like.
Oh, this is too bright.
Yeah, I have that problem with my screen. Nobody can see it, but it has
That's
my
what
YouTube
my character
thing
looks
up.
like in Animal Crossing. She's very cute. She's got pink hair, and she wears a little skirt, and she's wearing like these weird. She normally wears a crown, but she has like a star headband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's always looked like that.
I love the wigs that give you a different hairstyle too, like the one that gives you like a bow. I'm like, we need more of those. I
I
love.
love that in Pocket Camp. It looks so good.
Yes, there's some really fun ones, like the ones that have like curly bun pigtails. I love that one.
That slightly looks like the Fortnite model of you. Like,
Isn't they?
What?
is that not?
In a sexier version of me, yeah.
No, I mean like that. It looks like the that character in Fortnite
Oh,
that everyone
like-
jokes around
yeah,
says
the
is
one
you.
that everyone says that they're like, oh, that's the Kayla skin.
Yeah, and that
Yeah,
just looks
kinda.
like a Borderlands version of that Fortnite character.
Kinda, but I can't compare the two because Borderlands is a lot better than Fortnite, so.
Why don't we ever play Borderlands online?
Because I would have to buy it for you.
Why would you have to buy it for me? That's offensive.
You could buy it for yourself. I was just.
Yeah. What console? Is it crossplay? No.
It would be better to play on Steam because that's what I play it on, or I have it on Xbox already. But I don't want to pay for Xbox membership.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The game should be cheap. Wait, like, is it like Borderlands 2 on PC, or so like if you had Borderlands 2, the original version, and then I bought like the
They're not-
Handsome
yeah,
Jack
they-
collection or whatever, it wouldn't connect.
As long as they're on the same, like, if they're on like PC, like they'll be okay. They don't have cross-platform. Oh wow, the original Borderlands game is only $21.
Interesting.
That's pretty good actually.
Yeah,
I'll think about
I
it
don't have
in
that
the
on
future.
Steam. I need to buy that.
I tried Borderlands on the PlayStation 3 when it
It's much better with friends. Oh, Borderlands 2 is only $21.
yeah.
Girl.
Well, you see, I had no friends, so when I played it, I was just like, this is boring, and I was renting it from GameFly at the time, so I just like sent it back the same day.
Oh, rip.
And I didn't really like that song that it started out with. It's like,
Oh, the Cage the Elephant song?
yeah,
I have that album. It's good.
oh,
Cage the
I mean,
Elephant.
I
That
loved
sounds
it.
familiar.
It's a band.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think one of their songs was the one in that video I sent y'all of when I was a crazy person for a show.
Oh, yeah.
Cage the Elephant, I think that was the, there's always something on the outside, around the corner, there's always something waiting for you. And now Daniel has that creepy picture of me behind the curtain.
Yeah, of course.
So, Daniel, who would yours be?
My statue?
Yeah, it would be like the fishing man from Ocarina. That,
Someone
like, he
said
doesn't
Elo's
have
Dewey
any-
Kana.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
But like
I
the
really like
fishing
that.
man has no legs, if you remember. So like it would be a floating statue.
Oh, I thought he had no pants. I couldn't remember how
Levitating
that one went.
statue.
Both.
I like
Yes,
the
neither.
Ridley one though because the Ridley amiibo is just its generic one, but this statue is his, which is one of the alt skins in Smash, the Meta Ridley from Metroid Prime, and I like the look of Meta Ridley better because I guess I'm a lame-o. But
So- This isn't like the Breath of the Wild
No.
statue where they just copied the amiibo.
yeah, no, it's different from the amiibo. So I mean, like I like that, but I guess I'm trying to think of like who have they not done already though that I would want to see.
There's
I-
actually a lot that they haven't done. I was browsing through their website, and there's very slim pickings.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
I can't spell.
I would
but
love to see like a Skyward Sword Zelda.
They did. See, they did a Samus
Ooh,
one
yeah.
already, didn't they? I'm pretty sure they've already done Samus. So you could have your Samus and your Ridley.
Yeah.
They've done Shovel Knight. Oh man.
So first 4
Ooh.
figures. If any of you guys are watching, get busy making these and send it to
Yeah.
us.
Send us everything. Thank you. They've got actually like the list. There's a lot of Zelda stuff already. So I mean, they've already covered all of my classics. Maybe just one. Get one. And it's like the party in Earthbound. So you got Ness in front, Paula, Pooh, and Jeff. Like kind of behind him in the pose. Kind of like in Smash when you use your final smash, they all come together and then summon the PK Starstorm. That would be really cool to have just them and the little group of them together. I don't know if they do any figures that are like a little tiny group of characters, but that would be fun. I really like Earthbound. I've been on a bit of a kick. I think I might replay that game soon. So,
do you, Miss Click? She has that Loftwing statue.
Oh yeah.
That's like 3 feet tall and like, I don't know. Like it looks like it weighs like 100 pounds.
Is that a first 4 one? They do have a Link on Loftwing.
I think it's first 4.
It's $460 and it's out of stock.
Yeah.
So that might be the very one.
I want a pink Loftwing.
All the money I spend on amiibos, I just don't think I can spend that much on
because at least amiibos do something.
They do something and they're like $15.
Yeah. They're pretty and they do something. They're cheaper.
You can just like buy one a month, and then after a few months, you have a small collection. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, did everyone go? Right. Yeah. I said I would want the Skyward Sword Zelda, or Breath of the Wild Zelda would be cool too. Maybe in like that snow outfit. I don't know.
Oh, that one was really cool from the DLC. Yeah. I like that one.
Like they have Link on Epona. They have, I think it's Link on the Loftwing as well. So give Zelda on her white horse. So that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Do they do the every time I go to GameStop, they have the Ganon statue. That's like the counter to I don't know where he is. The Twilight Princess Link. His sword's broken, so don't tease him. But this Link.
Is he self-conscious about his broken sword?
Well, my little brother broke it. It doesn't say.
It's okay.
It doesn't really say who did it, but I think it might be first 4 figures, or maybe it's like the Dark Horse thing. I don't know. But there's always a Ganondorf statue that's like right beside this Link, and it's the Twilight Princess Ganondorf. But the difference is like this one was like $20, where the Ganondorf statue is like $80. So,
oh wow.
Yeah.
Weird.
New.
But
so yeah, I guess we can move on to the next one.
Ilya,
it's your.
Is that the one I'm doing?
Yeah, it's your turn.
All you.
Yay! Okay. So, is everyone ready? Everyone's good. Okay. New intro. Hey everyone, and welcome to this segment of episode 69 of the Hylian Gamescast. I am the Geek Apprentice. Most people know me as Ilya. And today we are going to be discussing an article that comes from Nintendo Enthusiast entitled, Who's Your Daddy? Link's family removed from the official Dark Horse book. Anyway, back in November, Dark Horse published The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Creating a Champion. It's ostensibly a reissue of the Japanese book known as The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Masterworks. Except eagle-eyed folks at Gaming Reinvented have pointed out a critical difference between the two. Masterworks, the Japanese one, features official artwork for what appear to be Link's burly father and chirpy little sister. Two characters never seen in the game. Meanwhile, Creating a Champion, the one we have for English-speaking people, is just shows a copy of the world map in that space. So where did Link's family go? The reason for the omission is hypothesized to be a translation mistake. More specifically, it's possible somebody just forgot to translate the text pertaining to the art on the missing pages, so they just opted not to include it. Frankly, I, the person who wrote this, think that's an odd explanation. But at the same time, there isn't any reason for Nintendo to hide its own officially branded ideas either. It's a head scratcher. At any rate, you can get a look at more missing art in the tweet below, and then they have a tweet of like all this missing art. Now this is like really interesting. I get their explanation of like why that might happen, and I'm like, I guess that could have been like a last minute thing, like we need to release this on time, there's already pre-orders, the translation was completely screwed up, maybe not like forgotten, but like maybe the translation was absolutely just like horrendous, and they were like, we've had translation issues before, but we can't do this. And I definitely don't think the reason for it being omitted would be, oh, we don't want to cause a fan stir because they retconned the timeline. So I don't think that would be the reason. But it's interesting, like, looking at the picture, I'm like, because I'm a huge lore person. Like, I know that's not the first thing they think about, and I'm glad that they think about the games first, the creators and developers. But looking at it, I'm like, I want to know about this. Who are these people? I want to know. It seems so interesting. So, yeah, I'm sad it was omitted. I wish we had, if that's the explanation, I wish we had more details, or if we could get like a little, well, this is what it means in Japanese. What's talked about. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Sorry,
Jesse, I just wanted to mention people in the chat are saying Ilya is really loud.
Oh. Sorry.
No,
I
no.
can actually turn my thing down too.
But the interesting thing to me is that I think this is the very first time that we ever see Link's father or any sort of parent.
Yeah.
Like, he's had uncles or like great-great-great-grandfathers, like Link in Ocarina of Time was the great-great-great-grandfather, whatever, of Link in Twilight Princess. But I don't think we've ever had like, this is his dad, this is what he looks like. There's like the weird theory in Twilight Princess that Ron, whatever, the sword guy was Link's father. I don't know.
Russell.
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking?
But I don't know.
He has his own wife and child, and
Yeah. So it's like, why wouldn't he just be like...
Yeah.
What is Link like the...
Well, it wasn't a good theory.
child that he had with a mistress that...
it was just based off the fact that, like, he was sort of a father figure to Link, like...
Could have been like an adopted father figure.
Stories, and then the sword stuff. Yeah. Cheers turning around, there's a ghost.
There's a ghost.
Yeah. So, yeah, what were your thoughts on this?
My first thought is the guy that I guess is supposed to be his dad or something reminds me of two characters. A burly fellow reminds me first of Link's grandpa Smithy in Minish Cap.
Oh yeah.
And also a little bit of Alfonso from Spirit Tracks, who is, basically just a reskin of Gonzo from Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass. But yeah, he just kind of reminds me of like almost a cross between character. Just his burliness and his bandana on his head and the ruggedness of him. That's just what springs to mind for me. But otherwise, like, I almost am kind of glad they didn't put any family in Breath of the Wild, because I wish that it was in the book in the North American release, which I still need to get my copy of that book. But it's Link's lack of family in Zelda games. Like, usually there's like a family member, maybe like one or two.
Yeah.
But having too much immediate family ties Link down too much to being anything more than being like an avatar character, because that's the designer's intention for him, and if they give him too much of his own life, it almost makes it too, it almost takes you out of that, or at least that's how Nintendo sees it. So
his grandmother in Wind Waker, I thought
that's like one of the few exceptions.
Yeah. Oh, and he had the sister. I always forget he has the sister.
Yeah, in that case, like, that was one of the few
she's
occasions
back.
More than one family member. So
yeah, I agree. I'm glad that it wasn't actually in the game, but it would be nice to have it in the book.
Yeah.
I don't have the book either, but
And then isn't it the book also confirms the house that you have to like fix was Link's original house as well?
Does it say that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I always
don't know.
theorized on my own that I thought it was his.
Yeah, like I think that's in the book. I've read a few articles talking about it. I don't know if it was in an interview or if it was in the book, but I can look later. But yeah, it's like
makes sense if they say it's been abandoned for a long time and disappeared for 100 years.
yeah.
Shoe fits,
But yeah, Tubes. What are your thoughts on should have Link had words? Should Link have had family members in Breath of the
He
Wild?
does have bananas.
A banana.
Or
You can have many bananas.
what if... No, that would be too sad. I was gonna say, like, what if, like, in the memories, whatever, like, in the past, he had a family, but then, like, in the same way that his mother in Ocarina of Time, well, it's a different Link, but Link's mother in Ocarina of Time presumably died, like, soon after handing Link over to the Deku Tree, because of the war or whatever. What if something like that happened with Breath of the Wild Link, to where it was in the game and it's like you learned that his mother like tried to keep him in that village, because in the book it says that some of the village were safe because they were so far away from the battlefield. So if Link was raised in the castle as the swordsman, then maybe his family was like, okay,
I'll be
you
right
can
back. My phone's
go
ringing.
live
Can you guys keep going?
here to be safe. And then that's why he had the place in Hateno Village. Is it Hateno Village?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that actually, like, if it was like a memory or something, that'd be a really cool way to integrate it. But I personally, I know this sounds bad, but like, I'm not really too interested in hearing about his parents.
What?
Like, I'm more interested in him.
I feel like him being the hero of time has nothing to do, like, with his parents. Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
I actually kind of always personally theorized, at least in playing Breath of the Wild, because I want to say it's in the DLC where Mipha talks about, like, he was such, like, a happy child, and then all of a sudden, once he grew up, he was very, like, stoic and hard and things like that. And I always kind of theorized, I wonder if, like, he lost his whole family for some reason, and that's what made him very harsh, and so he just never talks about it. That was always my personal theory, and that's good enough for me.
Well, there was, in the book, while I was doing research for this podcast to get news, I came across another article that was talking about how Link didn't just lose his memories through the 100 years. He lost his personality as well, which kind of made sense. Like, the article talked about it as if it was a huge deal, but it kind of made sense to me, because if you lose your memories and stuff, then it's like your memories and the stuff that you've done before and the lessons you've learned from that like contribute to your personality. So
I guess I always figured he was like that before he lost his memories, though. The way Zelda describes him, and Mipha, they were like, he was always stoic. I mean, I don't have the book.
Well, another interesting thing is, like, the what is it? The Hyrule Compendium, I think.
Oh, where you take the pictures and stuff?
Yeah, I think it's that, or it's something else, to where, like, in the Japanese version, it's in a first-person perspective, so it's like Link writing down as if it's a journal, describing everything. And sometimes he makes, like, little quirks or jokes and stuff about things. But the English version is, like, as if the computer inside the Sheikah Slate just typed it out itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of personality from Link that was in the Japanese version. that was just lost because for some reason Nintendo of America was like, hey, instead of Link, because I guess they thought Link's supposed to be mute, so if he's saying all this stuff, then what if that's not what the player is thinking? So then it breaks that connection or that bond between them. That's the only explanation.
Going back to him being like a blank slate avatar for the rest of us, literally a link between us and the game.
Yeah, which I kind of hate that. Like, because Nintendo says that, Aonuma said it, Miyamoto said it and stuff, that they try to keep him, you know, a blank slate and stuff. But it's like, if you go and read interviews about Skyward Sword or Wind Waker, they talk about the reason that they loved that art style so much is because it was so easy to give them so many different expressions. So it's like they went from... It was like they completely changed their mind on it, where it's like Wind Waker, they're like, yeah, he has the big eyes and like he can look scared or excited or whatever really easy, and like he can, like, that sneaky look he gets when he like walks along the wall and stuff. So he shows all that emotion, and Nintendo was proud of that. That was like one of the biggest things that they shown off, because in Ocarina of Time his face just stays the same, and it's the same in Majora's Mask. So whenever they had Wind Waker, they were excited about how many different expressions he could have. And then it was the same thing in Skyward Sword. But then you go to Breath of the Wild, and it's like they wanted the exact opposite, sort of like in Twilight Princess. So it's really weird how they like change their minds to where like in one game he needs to be like a perfect representation of the player, but in another game he's allowed to have his own emotions. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's probably good they go back and forth, though. That way it caters to both sides of the fans.
Yeah.
Because some prefer, like, people like my brother, they don't want the expression, they don't want the story, they don't want anything. And then I like having story. I'm glad there's not too much, but I like having some of the expressions. Why I like Wind Waker so much. Part of it. So that might be part of it. They're just like, which it probably is. They just, for every game, they're like, we're just going to do something different every game. We don't care.
All right. Oh, he's back just in time.
He slid in.
I was literally about to say we can move on to the next topic and then fill Daniel in when he gets back.
Yeah,
but
cool.
if any of you want to take the final topic, we're just gonna skip the topic of discussion. So the Nintendo console thing. Any of you can do it.
Oh. Should I do it?
Sure.
No one
Do
said
it.
anything, so I'm like,
Do it, Tube.
okay.
Yeah, you were off the podcast for a while, so you can make up.
You're gonna make me do all the hard work? Okay, well, let me take a sip of water, because I'm sitting here eating chocolate.
Because words are hard, so you have to like swallow that lemon whole.
I mean, I could. I'd probably need someone to call 911 for me, but I could. Okay.
Pikachu.
Let's rumble.
Do we have to?
Yeah. No
Alright.
option there.
I'm gonna take a look at the chat.
Okay. Okay, so what are we doing? Okay. Hello everyone, and welcome to Hylian Gamescast episode 69. I'm Chublima, and today we're going to be discussing some exciting news. This comes from Nintendo Enthusiast. Again. When does it not?
It doesn't when it comes from going to Nintendo. So.
The facts, they hurt. Okay, so this one is about Nintendo President Furukawa interviewed with Japanese financial newspaper about his approach to leading Nintendo. The most surprising insight, according to a translation provided by Nintendo Everything, is that Nintendo could someday stop producing consoles. Gasp. It has been over 30 years since we started developing consoles. Nintendo's history goes back even farther than that, and through all the struggles they faced, the only thing that they thought about was what to make next. In the long term, perhaps our focus is just a business, could just shift away from home consoles. Flexibility is just as important as ingenuity. Wow. Furukawa is completely correct, and the reality is that home consoles likely will disappear someday. But it is still surprising to hear the Nintendo president say that out loud. Nintendo has been known to be extremely stubborn in some very specific ways in the past, such as when it insisted its IP would never appear on mobile devices. It's admirable and refreshing that Furukawa, I'm just saying his last name because it's just easier, can be so straightforward about the importance of changing with the times. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
So I think like that idea would have came about when like the Wii U was a big flunk and everyone was reporting like, oh, Nintendo's gonna be going third party, or what if instead of going third party, a really interesting idea that someone mentioned was that what if instead of like how Sega went third party and just made games for everyone, what if Nintendo chose PlayStation or Xbox and partnered with them, so that way it would benefit PlayStation. Like say they go for PlayStation, it would benefit PlayStation because then they have Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Metroid, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Mario Party, all of these amazing games that are only available on their console. And then if you're going into a store, like a GameStop, Walmart, whatever, EB Games, to buy a new console, and you see that you can play like Uncharted or Metroid, Mario, The Last of Us, God of War, all of these different PlayStation and Nintendo exclusives on the same console. And then you look at Xbox, and you just have like Halo and Gears of War and stuff. Like, most people, unless they are die-hard Microsoft fans, would pick PlayStation. And or if they partnered with Microsoft, then you would get really awesome games on the Microsoft console. So I don't know, like it's weird to think about, but I think they would likely do something like that, to where instead of going full third party, they would partner with PlayStation, most likely because they're also in Japan, and then they almost had the partnership a long time ago. But lately, Microsoft and Nintendo has been partnered as well. I always bring up that there is a Microsoft-themed Nintendo console with the Minecraft 3DS. So that's really odd as well. Like a Nintendo console themed after a Xbox game. So who knows what they could do. Like I think it would be easier for them to partner with PlayStation, but they seem to be more friendly with Xbox, especially since they, like, a while ago they were joking around with each other on Twitter. And then the cell phone games and stuff that they brought up, that was another thing, is like they said that they had no interest in mobile games or movies and stuff, and now they're like halfway done with the new Mario movie. There are rumors of the Zelda TV series. There's all of the mobile games that they're working on. So who knows? Maybe they do do something like Sega, to where they're just like, okay, we're not doing consoles. We're just gonna put our games on everything that we can and make as much money as we can. So I don't know. But I'm ranting, so I'm just gonna let you guys talk.
Oh. Sorry.
The only thing, I don't have too many thoughts on this because it's a little bit out of my, I don't want to say out of my territory, but I don't know. I don't see them ever going full third party, and I don't see them ever actually partnering with anyone either, except for like specific games, like Smash and things like that. I just personally don't see it, and I kind of would hope that they never do. Maybe that sounds weird, but I don't want them to. I don't know why. Maybe that's just because I'm only interested in Nintendo. I mean, I've always wanted to play Kingdom Hearts, but I have no interest in ever buying a PlayStation ever. But because there's no other games I'd want. But I don't know. And the whole thing about them going only, like, getting off of the home console. With the success of the Switch, I don't see that happening either. But this is an area that I'm not too well versed in, so this is a very uneducated opinion, if that makes sense. Yeah.
This could have literally just been a statement to make the investors happy. And that's it. Like, nothing behind it. Similar to when, you know, Alan was like, no, we're not working on Majora's Mask 3D. And then they were. They worked on it for like 4 years, which is weird. Like, the remake took 4 years, but the actual game only took 1 year. What's going on there? Anyways.
Interesting.
Choops.
I have a thought.
Oh, Daniel, hi.
Did Choops go?
She read it, but she didn't give her thoughts.
You said words. I thought. I don't know. I'm zoning out a little bit, but my brain is going wild here. But you go ahead.
Okay. I was just thinking, like, first off, like, if they decided to stop doing home consoles, what would they do next? Like, where would they go from there? Would they just go portable?
Virtual Boy 2.
Yikes, my dude. The other thing that I think about is that Nintendo puts such a strong focus on the fact that the Nintendo Switch is not a
cheeseburger.
Oh, it's not a handheld console. It's a portable console.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, like, they put, like, a lot of stress on that, and for them to be like, hey, like, this means a lot to us, like, it's not a handheld console.
Is that what they tell you in your Nintendo training?
Yes. But yeah, so, like, just hearing that makes me kind of wonder, like, why would they decide to switch over to doing portable, or, sorry, handheld, if they're so adamant on their home console right now. And also, just, like, as I've noticed throughout ever, is that the 3DS has basically died, and whenever we hear anything about it, it's, like, totally out of the blue. It's like, WarioWare. Okay, where'd that come from?
Yeah, like Luigi's Mansion as well. That was random.
Yeah.
Well, Luigi's Mansion wasn't too out there, just because, like, they had just announced Luigi's Mansion 3. So it makes sense to put Luigi's Mansion on the DS, so that way people that haven't played it can play it before they can play all of them on DS before they decide to bust out on the Switch and get it.
What other games? Grezzo had Ever Oasis, but that was a long time ago. Then they worked on Luigi, and then didn't they have there's like a Mario game that came out. I think it was like a remake of a Game Boy Advance thing, like Mario Bowser's Inside Story, something like that. I'll look it up.
Pretty sure that was the one. Yeah.
I'll see. New 3DS games. But so the way he worded that is like they could get out of home console, right? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
So that still leaves like portable console, because like the president that was there that like took over after Iwata passed away, he said that they were working on a successor to the 3DS that still experimented with dual screens. That was not the Switch. Like, it was a brand new successor to the 3DS or whatever. So if that is an actual thing and not just an experiment, then I wonder if, like, if you took what he said literally to where, like, they're going to get out of home console, then if they just focus on handheld consoles like the Switch or the 3DS, to where, like, for now on, all of their consoles are just portable, but it's just like a more powerful version, like a Switch 2 or 3, whatever. Super Switch. That's what they did with they used to do that. Like, they would give like weird things, like there's the Nintendo, and then there's the Super Nintendo, there's the Game Boy, there's the Game Boy Advance, and then there's the Nintendo 64 was originally the Ultra 64. So, like, they kept on doing that, giving it like weird things. I guess that was just a 90s thing. I don't know. Like the GameCube could have been like the Radical Cube or something. I don't know. Yeah. Daniel, did you go?
No, but my brain. Okay, so first of all, obviously, I love Nintendo's home consoles, and if they stop making them, I will be a cry. But now, the wording in here I think is pretty important. He says, in the long term, perhaps our focus as a business could shift away from home console. And I think this is important just because there is the possibility that home consoles will be around forever. And we're not necessarily talking about the next console generation is going to be non-existent.
Yeah.
We're looking at 10, 20, 50 years in the future. Who knows where technology will be, what entertainment will be like. Because the shift in the business, in Nintendo's business, has changed a lot. And they try new things a lot. 3D, handheld, consoles you can take and put in your pocket if you really want. You know, like they expand their market quite a lot. So something like this could mean as simple as just moving everything to a portable console, like in the same style as the Switch, only they kind of drop the branding of this is a home console that's portable to just fully going portable. We could just be looking at stream boxes. That you got your controller and a box that streams games to your little stream box, and that's it. And that's the future of gaming. Who knows? Or it could just be that the market crashes and Nintendo will have to adapt to survive as a company, because they didn't start out as a video game company, but they moved with the market.
They had love hotels.
So they had love hotels. They had playing cards. They owned a baseball team. They've done all sorts of weird things. So, who knows what the future holds? And Nintendo, I think, has been able to survive as a company for so long and endure because they adapt and they change. And I think that's just more him saying, frankly, we don't know what the future is like, and we've got to keep an open mind about it. And everyone's kind of freaking out, being like, the Switch is the last console ever. We're gonna die. I don't think. I don't think we're looking at anything short term, because he says very blatant, like verbatim in the article, in the long term, this could be a possibility.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried. I will be sad to see home consoles go, because obviously I like them a lot, but
that's what we all grew up with.
Exactly. But no, that's just the way it be. Things we love, everything comes to an end eventually, I guess. I'm getting all so
no. So
yeah.
you're
That
talking.
was really funny. You said I'm getting all, and then microphone, nothing came out. Your lips moved, but I think your microphone cut out.
Somber, but yeah, I think it did cut out. I was getting
So the streaming thing, Capcom is already doing that in Japan, which Japan has a lot better internet than we do, so they can stream like HD games to their Switch very easily. So like if that is successful, then like PlayStation has remote play, to where like you can use your cell phone, a PlayStation. Oh, do it, by the way. God.
man.
Oh
Do you
my
guys go ahead and
god.
read it?
Daniel, $4.99.
Urbosa.
Daniel equals Rivali. Ilya equals who is Urbosa? Jesse equals Daruk. Fight me.
Actually,
Yes.
if
This is
you
very accurate, I think.
if you join us on Smash Brothers sometime, there is a chance that you could actually fight Rivali. So
Sean.
your statement is kind of true, because we did the stream last week or the week before, where Sean Chiplock, the voice of Rivali and the Great Deku Tree and Trunks and Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super, and also found out that the Mifa voice actress, actually I heard that like actresses preferred to just be called actors instead of actress.
It's simpler. I mean, I don't mind if someone says actress, because it is technically the proper way to identify a female actor, but it really does not matter.
Alright. But
It's
yeah,
the same thing.
I found out that she also plays a key role in the ending of the season for Dragon Ball Super, so that was really cool. Because still talking to her about scheduling a thing. Anyways, but
It's confirmed if we go to E3, we have to dress up as these people.
yeah,
It's
Creatures.
it's funny though, like this. I see the accuracy of it, of this statement, man, boy, cave. But at the same time,
Gibbs
I'm
is
like, I have to
Duke.
come to grips and admit to myself that I'm the Rivali of our group.
It means you work hard.
Oh no. I try and be a little bit more humble, but then sometimes I do oftentimes I catch myself very much not being, so I guess it's probably pretty true.
Okay, so in Zelda Encyclopedia, creating a champion. There's so many different books. In the white book, there is there's like the red, blue, green, white. Okay, so in the white book for Breath of the Wild, they have the Kokiri champion. So like, who would the Kokiri champion have been if that was a thing? Answer that in the chat. So if they would have gone forward with the Kokiri champion in Breath of the
My
Wild,
last video was about that.
I guess, like who in the game?
He had
would it have been?
the-
or do you mean who among
the
us been the Kokiri
like
champion?
who among us would have been the Kokiri instead of
Oh,
yeah, because they replaced the Kokiri
us.
champion with
It would be.
Rivali. Yeah. But yeah, let us know in the chat.
which means Daniel would have to be Mifa.
I want to be Sidon.
Oh.
he's
you
not.
want everyone to love you? Is that it?
I do. I want. But Sidon, okay. Just other than all of the weird, manfish things aside,
Mhm.
he's a
Yeah.
great and very supportive
I
friend.
love him.
You know,
He's like
He
the
annoys
dad friend.
me.
he supports you and he believes in you.
Mhm.
That's who I want to be.
Yeah.
He's that friend that after a while I'm like, thanks. I don't need any more support.
Oh wow. You shake
Too
your
excitable
hand so
for me.
hard that like your whole body shakes, but
However, I would love to be the older sister of young Sidon because that's freaking adorable.
Yeah.
Baby Sidon's too cute.
Best super chat. I don't remember what we were talking about before that super chat happened.
The
And
stream-
yes,
the streaming
people are
stuff.
saying I would be the Kokiri champion.
yeah, of course. of
Thank
course.
you so much for your super chat. Of course.
Yes, that was hilarious.
That
If
was
anyone
great.
has any questions or anything, you can super chat and we'll just stop what we're doing and completely forget about the topic. No, but we were talking about streaming. Like, PlayStation originally had the PlayStation Vita. That was the way that you would be able to stream your PlayStation 4 games through remote play. And then they had some of their phones where you could do it, like their Sony branded smartphones. And then they changed that to the Sony Bravia TVs, where you could stream and play like PlayStation games and stream them and stuff just from the TV itself. And then you could do it on laptop or a computer and everything. And then Xbox does the same thing, where you can stream on computer and whatever, as long as you had like Windows 10 and your Xbox. And Nintendo's really the only one that's not really doing it, but then they sort of are doing it, or at least they're allowing third parties to do it, like Capcom with the Resident Evil 7, where it streams an almost PlayStation 4 version of the game that wouldn't even be able to run on the Switch. Or if it did run on the Switch, it would be at like 10 frames per second instead of 30 or 60. So that's really cool, and I think there are other games that they're planning on doing like that. I think Square Enix mentioned that they were thinking about doing that with the Switch, unless they already have. I can't really remember. That might be how they end up putting the final version of Final Fantasy 15, because they said a long time ago they were trying to bring Final Fantasy 15 to the Switch. And that hasn't happened yet. They had like that mobile version, but that's not really it. But maybe that's how they bring it to the Switch, is through that streaming thing. But yeah, I don't. That's all I have to say. Yeah. I guess Zelda mailbag now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Halo Justin pointed out I voiced a Kokiri.
You
That's a
did
good
voice.
Very true. As much as I feel like I don't do justice to Rosa, I am nothing like Mifa, and I am nothing small child.
I think you'd be a good Urbosa.
Yeah, I could see
You would be
with-
protective.
I was gonna say I see you with like a mean streak, to where like you, cause like she seems like she's nice, but then she's like really strong and strict and mean and stuff.
She's
and,
nice and understanding, but she stands up for
She gives me
people.
like the Izumi vibes from FMA. That's who she reminds me of. She's like that strong housewife that it will beat the out of you.
You're a strong housewife.
I mean, I live in a house. I'm married to myself.
Did you know in Japan, who's that one singer that like does the Vocaloid stuff, whatever? Do you know like it's the weird anime thing? The anime character, whatever, CG character that does the singing and stuff.
Yeah.
In Japan, maybe other countries, they legally allow people to marry her. So like the company will send out like a weird, I think it's like a hologram thing that like you put on your desk, and it's her. And there are people that have actually married the thing, like
marry
legally
it.
in Japan, but it costs like $15,000 or something like that you have to pay
Never
the
mind.
company. But there's like hundreds of people that are married legally to this little robot hologram thing.
I think these
Yeah.
people are misunderstanding what marriage is.
Yeah, cool. Google it. It's weird.
I'm good.
Only paying the money if I could bring her home and put her on my side table.
Trophy wife.
Yeah. Daniel, Chubes, Ilya, any of you want to do the mailbag intro?
Oh no! There's a sneeze coming and it's gone!
Oh no, it's
I
at
hate that feeling.
some point.
It's almost as bad as whenever I try starting the podcast and I have to yawn. Or no, it's worse than that actually, because sneeze, yeah.
Oh.
Whenever that happens and it doesn't go away, I like try to do weird stuff to like tingle my nose to sneeze.
Tingle, you say?
Yeah.
Kula Limpa.
Ooh.
I'm not doing the intro.
Oh, fine. All right, I'll do it. Okay.
Yay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Zelda mailbag for the Hylian Gamescast episode 69. We are people that run this podcast. I'm Daniel. I am joined by Sublima underneath me, Ilya to the side of me, Jesse
That's
is
me.
my diagonal. I mean, what? What's you?
Ilya.
Right. Yes, that's Ilya. Anyways, this is your chance to ask us all answer.
You cut out. Sorry.
And what?
You cut out.
What?
Keep cutting out!
Bananas.
Nice.
Okay, you guys can ask us your questions, but if you... Sometimes we have too many questions, and if you want to make sure that your question is answered and doesn't get lost in the list of questions that we get, you can join the Game Over Jesse Patreon and join our wonderful friends like Wild Horse 64, Samuel, Ranjamin, Foxo, Andrew, Jonathan, David, Amanda, Jacob, Derek, Blargnar, Michelle, Mandy Lee Plays, Michael, Elmer, Bootleg Boy, Vortex, Gus, Monica, Link uses Triforce, Lunarium, Shadow to Us, Rusty, Lovable Christy, and Fallen Echo. And I think we will actually kick this off with a question from one of our patrons, Gus, who asked, if I have one question, what do you guys think it would be, or what do you think would be the next trend in gaming? The next big trend. Like we've seen, like, I don't know, VR is kind of the big thing that's starting to pick up now, but what's in the future?
I would say the current thing is like we're in the middle of like the battle royale thing, like Fortnite and everything.
Yep.
I would say like games kind of like Breath of the Wild took like the open world concept and expanded upon it to where, like, if you're playing Skyrim or Final Fantasy 15 or The Witcher 3, it's a huge open world that when you play it, it gives you the feeling that you can go anywhere and do anything. But then you play Breath of the Wild to where, like, there are no borders. Like in Final Fantasy 15, after I went back to it after Breath of the Wild, like, I would come across a cliff and I would just be like, okay, well, I'll just climb up the cliff. But you can't. It's basically just like a wall border that keeps you from going somewhere. Where Breath of the Wild was like, there wasn't anything. If you had the stamina, or if you could, like, get enough fruit or food, whatever, to get your stamina up, then you would be able to climb it, no matter how tall it is. And I think it would be something like that, or maybe the game that Alanuma has said that he wants to work on, to where it is like Breath of the Wild, but then you can have your friends in. So, like, it's a team of 3 or 4 of you that can go anywhere, do anything. So, yeah. For me, I would say it would be games sort of copying what Breath of the Wild did, to where, like, there are no borders. There is nothing stopping you from doing anything. You can just do it. Like, if there's a wall blocking your path, then blow up the wall, or tear down the wall, or catch it on fire, or climb over it, or whatever. So I think it would just be that, like, just taking the open world concept and expanding on it. Like, Alanuma kept on calling Breath of the Wild open air, and everyone's like, what does that even mean? You made that up. What is that? But now I know. It's open air because most of the time you're not traveling on the world, you're traveling in the air. So I kind of get it. But yeah. Choose. What about you? Does your plushie have any ideas?
No.
Cool shirt,
actually,
by the
so
way.
I did want to add to something. I was saying that I was married to myself. I actually have several different types of Chewbacca's in my house.
Oh boy. You are one of them, right?
Yeah.
With your onesie?
Oh, yeah.
Snuggie.
Where do you
But
keep
yeah.
that?
Oh, it's a Snuggie, okay.
Oh, I have a Snuggie.
Yeah. He's
wear it
called
at work.
Deformed Chewbacca. That's how they sold him on. And that was.
Why is he warm?
I don't know. I think he looks fine.
He looks just fine. That's so
Right?
rude.
Anyways, I think one fad that I would love to see with gaming come back would be like people, and more like MMO-based games again. Like, I feel like that really died out, and there aren't really a lot of big ones out there right now that a lot of people will go towards, aside from, like, the regulars, like World of Warcraft. I think Elder Scrolls Online is still a thing.
RuneScape.
No, Fallout 76
RuneScape's not
kind of
RuneScape's
edging
not
in
a
on that
thing.
market.
Yeah. I would love to see, like, more of that. I know one that we've all been, I talk about in my friend group is that we're hoping that League of Legends would do a MMO, just because they are gearing up to something big, but we don't know what it is, so we're just like, fingers crossed, MMO. Because there's so much lore. Yeah.
It's a Connect 3 puzzle game. Where, like, you have to match the 3 different colors, like Tetris.
Oh.
Or
Puyo Puyo.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The
what
other
they're building
thing-
up to.
The other thing that I could think of is like if they were able to make video games more like Ready Player One. Like, really just immerse you into the video game.
Yeah,
That's
like-
the other thing.
Next
Like-
level VR.
Yeah, exactly. Next level VR. I always think like Sword Art Online, when that anime first came out, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this anime, but sorry to anyone that's a weeb in the chat. But I loved, like, the concept of just, like, being in the game forever. So that's, like, my little weeb heart just saying I
Well,
want to do that. But definitely MMOs.
Really quick, someone mentioned it in the chat one day, but
Okay.
it was a long time ago they mentioned it. And they mentioned it on the Discord as well, because there was a fan of the podcast that joined the Discord. But they mentioned, like, a Dungeons and Dragon thing, but, like, Zelda themed. I think that would be really cool. That's not necessarily video game, but it is gaming. Like, they have the Monopoly board and stuff, so, like, they're kind of halfway there, because, like, it's all board games, but, yeah, I would really like that. Like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign thing that's, like, set in the world of Zelda.
That is something that you don't even have to have. That doesn't need to be made. You can do it.
Well, I'm not smart, so...
Okay. But you could do it, yeah. Right now, like, we've already seen, like, a lot of really neat trends, motion controls, whatever. There's this whole retro revival movement that happened where, like, suddenly 8 16-bit games became really cool again, and we saw tons of indie games kind of come out into that trend. And, you know, like Shovel Knight and Celeste and all these really cool indie games. And then there's sort of this trend of games that are becoming a little more cartoony by design, not just like Wind Waker with cel shaded, but like literally hand drawn sprites and things like Cuphead. And I just really like this artistic trend that's happening where these games are really getting creative with how they look aesthetically. Hollow Knight, I think, is another really good example of having that sort of very hand drawn aesthetic. That's something that I would like to see more of, to be honest, because that stuff gets me. The only other thing I can think of is there's also been something of a return to form to sort of these small-scale sandbox games. Mario Odyssey being one of my favorite examples, but the other ones like basically Ukulele, yeah, that was what I was gonna think of, where they're trying to like we've had this retro revival movement where 8 and 16-bit games are kind of coming back into style. And now the games from sort of that N64 era where they've got these small-scale sandbox games, where you've got these little worlds that are broken up like that.
And collectathons too.
Spyro and Crash.
Yeah, now you got those games kind of coming back into the limelight with their remasters. And I can see that being kind of the next trend that the games go, like all these games from that era. Not just remakes of those games, but new games that take, you know, a return to form of games from that era. So
I think
I would love that because the soundtracks.
I think they said that because of the popularity of the Crash that they were going to make a new Crash game, but I don't know. I know they it was so popular that they ended up the Crash Racing, like they've remade it, and I think they mentioned something about like creating a new Crash, or maybe that was just like a rumor that I read. I don't know. But yeah, it would be really cool. I really like those games to where it's like an open world, but it's just like a smaller world. Like in Mario, you jump through the paintings and stuff. It's really weird. Like, I would say like Mario Odyssey was the one that kind of brought that back, but Ukulele came out before it, and Ukulele I thought was really good. It reminded me a lot of Banjo Kazooie.
That was the intent.
Yeah. Well, like there's a lot of people, it's like it's too modern or like modernized to be like a Banjo Kazooie thing, and it's like it's developed for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One generation of console. They could have made it like super modern to where it like used every bit of graphical power that it could to create weird puzzles or do whatever it was, but they didn't. They just made it like simple Banjo-Kazooie. Like you could sort of picture it scaled down to like a Nintendo 64 style game. Yeah, but that's my thought. Did you go, Ilya?
No. I don't really follow trends. I just kind of like the games I like. But as far as what I actually think might be the next trend, all I can really give as far as my opinion on that is it'll be something very community-based. I think it'll be along the lines of like the fact that with these Battle Royale games, being able to play with so many people at once and having all these friends, you know, Smash, Mario Kart, all these games, I imagine the trends will usually be community based. I don't know how else to word that.
No, that's good. Cool.
And also, there's a question that I think is really cool.
Cool. Well, why don't we? I think that wraps that one up. So why don't you?
Yeah.
If you've got a cool one.
Or at least I think it's cool because I have an idea. So I'm like, oh, I would want this. So, in the live chat, Abigail asks, if you could choose any franchise to be game franchise to be given a spin-off in Zelda style, as in like having dungeons and adventuring, what would you choose? I would actually say Pokemon. I think it would be interesting for them to have a spin-off game that, because I think of this because I've been watching the anime, binge watching it, and I'm on season 5.
Did you watch the
And
movie?
I think about like I haven't watched the new movie. No, I've only ever watched the first one, and whichever one came out like 2 years ago. But you know, in the shows, like they have always like this little quest that they have to go on because there's an issue in Team Rocket, and I feel like it could be based loosely on the type of stuff that happens in the stories of the anime, which I know that's a separate thing. But I would find that fun, like if you were able to somehow connect it with your like Let's Go Pikachu or whatever like the main Pokemon game is, so you already have all of these trained Pokemon. You already know what you want your team to be, and you can jump right in, or have it just be like an extra thing. I don't know. I just think that'd be interesting because I like the anime, so at least right now I do.
Yeah, it's like the GameCube Pokemon games, like Colosseum, sort of had like a dungeon-esque feel, because like you're not really wandering around in the overworld. It's more of like a serious, darker take on it. Not as much as like Twilight Princess was for Zelda, but it was more of like a more adult-oriented Pokemon game. As adult-oriented as a Pokemon game could be, I guess. But yeah, it sort of had that, and then there's like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That's odd.
I never played any of these, so that's why I didn't think of them.
They're not amazing. Like you play as the Pokemon, and then you run around and help other Pokemon. But I don't know, it's odd. You okay, Choops?
Sorry, I'm laughing because I was like trying to cross my legs on the chair, and my chair started spinning, and I was just like.
GG. But yeah, who has the next question?
I didn't answer.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, Daniel didn't either. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm just gonna go.
Just gonna yell. It's fine.
Answer.
This is a hard question because I was thinking about it. A lot of the games that I play are RPGs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like Breath of the Wild. It's an RPG.
Yeah, it has that, or at least
Animal Crossing.
I was gonna say Animal Crossing, and I was like, my answer for everything, Animal Crossing.
I don't blame you. It's an awesome series game.
No.
I got nothing personally, so I'm gonna just have a pass on this because I can't think of any game that I would want to do this with. Like
most of the games
Pokemon
we play
like
tend to be dungeons.
Yeah,
So.
and Pokemon
Yeah.
is like the best answer for that. That's the one game that you could really take it anywhere.
yeah, it's versatile enough.
And they
every other
have
game,
in a sense.
every other game that I can think of that I like would you would either lose too much of the core of that game, or it already is too much like that to actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Metroid, sort of like it's like a giant dungeon, I guess. The older
Yeah.
ones, you're just like going back and forth, collecting items, going to new areas. Like in Zelda, you get the hook shot, and then you can like backtrack and go to new places in the dungeon. But it's like on a larger scale for Metroid. Yeah. Maybe
No.
Fire Emblem, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead of like moving, like I'll go to this space.
Like, take more of those like JRPG games and turn them into more of a regular RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I like that.
Yeah.
So it's like the one thing that I really liked about like, especially the Final Fantasy games, is like the turn-based combat style. But then the other thing I really liked was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. So good. Yeah.
Some of the Final Fantasy games have like dungeon-esque levels where like there's puzzles and stuff that you gotta do. Sorry, Tubes, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. I'll mute
Oh
myself.
no, that's okay. But yeah, that's all I got. Nothing. That's it. Next question.
Okay.
Okay, next one.
I am going to answer a question from the man/boy cave, as he did give us a super chat earlier, so he didn't have a question at that time, but it looks like he did just have a question. So, the man/boy cave asks, would you rather have a Switch Mini or a Switch Pro? And to that, a Switch Pro. I don't like the Nintendo Switch as it is. I don't think it's too big. I don't have a problem with it. I'm also like, I normally carry a bag with me, so that might be different too. Like, I always have like a backpack or like a tote bag or something, so that's also a little bit different. I could kind of understand for people that maybe don't have that much space with them when they're out and about. But the Pro, I think, would be better, because then I could like think about like all of the new games that would come out and how beautiful they would be. And if there was a Pro, I'd probably be more likely to actually use my TV for Nintendo Switch. So,
well,
Yeah.
I think I brought up my idea, which is neither, but you get a Pro dock.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Pro dock.
that's a
Yeah.
good idea. Yep.
I want
That's what
that.
I was thinking.
Yeah, but I mean, I've talked that idea to death in previous episodes. Switch is, yeah, as Marsupial Gamer sums it up in the chat, the Switch is mini enough.
Yeah.
Because if it
Yeah.
was mini, you would need a new dock for it, basically. It wouldn't fit with the current dock.
Mhm.
'cause
And would the
it's hard to
controllers
take-
be smaller?
you have to take the Joy-Cons off and put it in the dock then, I guess.
The controllers are already so small.
Yeah, they don't
Well, that's
need
the
to
thing
be
too.
any smaller.
So is it just the screen that you're crunching down? Because then, like, do you really want
That'll
a
be
smaller
weird.
screen than that? I don't know. But a Pro one, like just a Pro dock, then I don't need to get a new Switch. I already have two. I don't need another one. And you know that I would buy it, probably. So I really don't want them to do it, so I can save my money. But we're also 2 years now into the Switch's life, and there's been no word of it other than people speculating. So I don't anticipate either happening, but that's
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely would want a mini, and because of how long, like, I can't just buy things as they come out typically. I'm getting closer to the point financially where I can do that, but right now that's just like not possible. So if a Switch Pro came out, it would be like 3 or 4 years before I got one. And part of me would be like, I already have a Switch. And so I like Daniel's idea of just make an accessory that can give Pro features. Don't make me buy an entire $300 Switch. I mean, no one's making me buy it. I choose to buy it. I don't want to feel obligated. So I'd rather neither.
I agree. I would want, like, if I had the option to where, like, I could just choose and have it for free, then I would like to have just a more powerful Switch that wouldn't really need a dock. But if I'm paying, then I would rather pay like $100, $150 to get a dock instead of $300-400 for an entirely new Switch. Yeah, like I don't know who would really want a mini unless you're just like a little kid that kind of has trouble carrying around like the giant Switch.
Maybe. But does Spencer have a simple enough time with it?
Yeah, he's got no problem with using the Switch, whatever. It's very easy. It's not too big for he plays it predominantly in handheld. I play mine predominantly docked, so but I can do either way. He could theoretically do either way, just the preference thing. But like, that's kind of the nice thing about it, I guess. But the size of it, I don't think it's really a big deal. I can't imagine it being smaller.
Just imagine
hands
like
would start cramping.
the L and R button on like the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, they're small.
So like, you'd have these, but they're like,
Yeah.
they'd just be even tinier.
Yeah.
Also, I don't have.
That
a
would just be
thumbstick. See that? There's no grip.
I think you need a new set of Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I want to get the red and blue ones, but
Yeah.
or like
well,
the Splatoon
the
ones.
Splatoon ones are Beautiful.
Yeah.
I have too many Joy-Cons, guys. I have 8 Joy-Cons.
I need another set.
Yeah.
I have, I guess, 2 sets now, but that's because my dad had a set. It was from the Super Mario Odyssey bundle.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I took those ones because I needed to sample, and he stopped using them because he said one of the joysticks were broken. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with the joystick, what's wrong with you? And then I started using it for, I can't remember what game I was playing, but I went to press in the right thumbstick, and that button doesn't work. And I was like, oh, I see what's broken about this. This is perfect for demoing for children.
Depending on what game you're playing, it's not really a big deal, but...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, I could probably just, like, be like, hey, this isn't working, and they'd probably fix it for me.
True. Fair. Yeah, I like the Mario Odyssey red a little better than the neon red that comes with the red-blue Joy-Cons, but the Splatoon ones are my favorite. I just like how, but
I would love to be able to get custom colors.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have seen some beautiful custom Nintendo Switch consoles. Like, there is a pink one. Bless.
I would want a nice, soft, rose pink.
Yeah.
So it's like my favorite color. The theme of my room, but you can't see it.
Like 3 minutes ago, we have a new Patreon supporter.
Whoa.
Justin. I don't know if they want me to say the last name, so just
We'll
Justin.
Just say Justin.
Yeah.
Justin.
I imagine.
Is it Halo Justin?
There was someone
Yeah.
in the chat named Justin.
Yeah, Halo Justin.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in my Discord.
Sweet. Thank you, Justin.
He's in the chat.
Oh, how
Yeah.
nice.
He like here. If you guys.
How do you?
I can't read that.
Can't read that. Oh, now I see it.
There, cleared up.
Hey,
I
you
can't
said
read
you
it.
didn't want to show the last name, and then you
Oh.
did, you dingleberry.
Jazzy, shut down the stream.
How do you
Done
spell?
good.
How do you spell Justin? You said Halo Justin. How do you spell?
So HALOJUSTIN, and then it was one. But he's in my Discord too.
Okay, yeah, I saw him there. I just want to make sure because.
Thank you, Justin. If you have a question,
Yeah.
you can give it because we need to end soon because it's almost 11 my time, and I have to go to the
Same.
grocery store, and it closes at 12.
Well,
I have bedtime in 2 hours, so.
Yeah.
Oh, he just said hi.
If we don't get one from him, though, we do actually have another Patreon.
Oh,
question.
well, we'll do that one as the final one, and then if he
Oh,
gives a
good.
question before we finish, then we can get his as well. But
Okay.
go ahead and get the Patreon.
Sure. Well, it's from. I just noticed Fallen Echoes now in the Patreon list here, and he submitted a question. It says, "What is your least favorite Zelda title,
Ooh.
and why?"
Title?
Well, I guess I'm guessing he means the game.
Game.
Of the Zelda games. Your least favorite Zelda.
Phantom Hourglass.
Mine's also.
I don't like Phantom Hourglass.
I don't dislike Phantom Hourglass, but I like all the other Zelda games better than I like Phantom Hourglass.
It's like all the backtracking and that Ocean King dungeon thing, whatever it is. I just hate it. It's like doing the same thing.
Okay, so my thing with Phantom Hourglass is that was the 2D Zelda game that ruined them all for me. That was like the one that I got on my DS. Play this, and I absolutely hated it. I just could not. And then there was the part where you had to like scream at your DS, and then you had to like close the DS, and I was like, what is happening, and why am I doing all this? I hate it.
Yeah,
And I didn't even beat that game. I got like halfway through, and I was like, I think I got to the part where you have to scream at your DS, and I stopped playing.
You don't have to scream at it. You can just go into the mic. You just
Just
blow
I know.
into it.
go and
I know.
bang on Miyamoto's door.
I was just.
'Cause I wouldn't want to scream. I would never scream it, honestly, because
God, no.
like I don't
I was
want
just
like,
so shook.
I was at 16, 17 when I first played it, and like alone in my, I don't want my mom like hearing me alone in my bedroom and just screaming suddenly.
Come in. What are you
You
screaming
know my
at?
mother, she will
Pleasure,
burst in the
Zelda.
room being like, "Are you dead?"
Oh my God.
Like, no, I'm just screaming into my DS. Like,
could be worse things to
like,
scream into.
I guess, I don't know. Like, so either that or she'd make wild, horrible assumptions about what I'm doing in the bedroom, which involves screaming for some reason. So,
I think
so. Yes, Phantom Hourglass. I don't dislike it, but the thing is, I do find it's the hardest game for me to go back to after having played it, because there is a lot of backtracking, and in Spirit Tracks, there is also a lot of backtracking. But whenever I think about playing one of those two games, I think I would really want to play Spirit Tracks. It took everything that was good about Phantom Hourglass, took out all that bad stuff, and just built on that good stuff, and improved the music, and improved the UI, it improved the graphics a little. Not that much, but a little. It made the overworld transportation so much easier to manage and better. Because like if you were with Phantom Hourglass, when you were in the boat and you have to like draw on the line on the map of travel, and this isn't something I necessarily discuss a lot, but I have tremors. For those who do not know, I can't hold my hands super steady. And so drawing a straight line on that map is very difficult for me. And so to be able to just toggle or go along the train tracks or whatever, super smooth and easy. But for me, drawing a line on that map, suddenly my boat is chugging along the water and it's like, like freaking going all over the place. And I'm like, how are they not seasick and thrown overboard? Like,
oh my god.
It's terrible. It's a mess. So it's not. Also to say this, my hand tremors are not the worst ever. They're not that bad, but like there are times where something like that can happen, and it's like, okay, this is difficult for me. So that's a thing. just putting that out there. That's maybe a me thing, but I just if there's really no other games that I find hard to control, and the rest of the touch controls I don't have a problem. It's just that part, but there's so much of it that you have to do in that game. You're sailing so often, so it's very annoying. So yes, that's my little rant fest. Sorry guys.
No, so a while back there was the trademarks that Nintendo filed for like Spirit Tracks on mobile devices and stuff, and I always thought that they could fix Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks if they gave it like traditional controls. That way, like, you're not using the little stylus. I don't know. Anyways, so in the chat,
Oh, I haven't answered yet.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say Justin said that he put a question in the mailbag.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Okay. My answer is pretty short. I mean, it's kind of confusing because it's like there are several games I haven't played, and part of it is just because I'm just not interested, which sounds weird. It's like, it's Zelda, you should be interested. Unless it's CDI, we don't count that. But,
oh yeah.
So if we're talking about games I've actually played, like, all the way through, there isn't one I dislike, so saying my least favorite is not saying much, to which I'll just say Link's Awakening. It's like, out of all the games I've played through, I do not hate any of them, and I love all of them. So, you know, like, putting that one at the bottom is like, what does that really mean? But as far as ones I've at least dabbled in or watched Let's Plays of and just realized I had no interest, Triforce Heroes.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually played it, so I can't really say too much.
You
I never
joined
finished it because we were gonna play together, Jesse, and we never did.
Yeah.
We both forgot.
I mean,
wait, is that a game on the DS?
3DS.
Yeah.
It came
I
after
think I
A Link
downloaded
Between
that
Worlds.
game so we could all play it.
Oh.
I might would enjoy it if I was playing with other people, like Four Swords, but I think I would prefer Four Swords Adventure than I would to Triforce Heroes, even then.
That's the
You could
thing.
play Four Swords
like-
with us?
Four Swords Adventures may have been my pick, because the only time I'd played it before was by myself. And then when Jesse and I played together, and we had some other friends and stuff, playing the game as intended with other people, I had tons of fun with it. So it definitely moved up my list.
We had to keep saving tubes because she
did.
Oh my gosh, don't
Except
remind me
for
how
Jesse
bad the
picked me
internet
up
was
and
there.
throwing me
Yeah.
into a bottomless pit. But that aside, yeah, it's funny though. It reminds me, we answered it almost same question years ago when I was doing the Zelda Informer podcast with Nathaniel Rumfeljans, and then at the time Darren, who worked at Zelda Informer. I don't know if I don't think he's still doing Zelda Informer.
Yeah, he
And
did. Like, I got a message or something from him earlier, and I looked at his status, and it said Zelda Informer. So maybe he went back.
I'm not sure, but his favorite game was Phantom Hourglass, and all of us jumped on it, and he was upset, and I felt really bad.
Oh.
Well,
but
Nate said his was Zelda 2.
that's his favorite Zelda game.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was. I think it's now. He said in a recent video it's now his second favorite. So I think Breath of the Wild might have actually inched it out. But
Fair
I know
enough.
he really likes Skyward Sword too.
They are the only 2 Zelda games you can jump.
But also, I think with Nate, like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Zelda 2 would be more like. I feel like that's like his nostalgia game.
Oh yeah,
And that's
and that was
probably
the
why
case
he
with
likes it so
Darren
much.
because it
Yeah.
was the first Zelda game he played.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We need to hurry and do the final thing.
Okay.
From
Yes.
The
Justin's.
final question.
I got like
Who
less
wants
than
to
an hour.
read this bad boy?
I can read it since I have it right here.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah. So, Justin asks, do you think Nintendo would make a Zelda bundle collection like Kingdom Hearts did with their games, with remakes and exclusives? I would like it if they did. I would love it if they were like, look, here's Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD put on the Switch, along with maybe a new thing. I would love that. Do I think they will? I honestly don't know. Sometimes I think, yeah, I could see them doing that, and then other times I'm like, no, they may not because of this. So I don't know. I would want it, though.
The only bundles I can think of that were Zelda games was the collector's edition on the GameCube. Wind Waker pre-order came with Ocarina of Time. Those 2 were like bundled together with Master Quest as well. A Link to the Past on the Game Boy Advance came with 4 swords. So I could see them doing it again in the future, especially if it was like... The thing is, like, if they did Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, they would easily be able to sell each individually for $60. So if they bundled it together, they would be losing money because they could just sell them individually and make just as much or more. So...
But I want them to.
Yeah, like, it would be
Make
great
Yeah.
if they did.
I would love that.
Yeah. Like
It
it,
might, from a certain standpoint, actually make more. Like if they bundled Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and bundle as 100, yeah, that'd be like $20 less than selling each of them individually. But
Yeah.
people might be like, "Oh, I'm getting a discount and I get both games." Great. Whereas if you sold them separately, I would be like, "I'll get Wind Waker. I'm not gonna get Twilight Princess."
That's true. And
But
there
that's-
might be
it
people
depends.
who would only buy one or the other. That would end up just getting the bundle. So you kind of guarantee those sales as well as the hardware.
It would really depend on the demographic and
Yeah.
luck, honestly.
yeah.
So
Like, I
it
know
could go
some
either
people
way.
that Twilight Princess is the only good Zelda game other than Ocarina of Time, and I'm like, what the hell? But I've met people who are like that, and I'm like, I don't know where you're.
They're both great.
I feel like this is just because you didn't play the other ones, but sure, man. Like, but then if this were to come out, they're like, okay, I'll play Twilight Princess again. So they buy it. Maybe they end up giving Wind Waker a shot and enjoying it. You know, so.
Yeah.
I could see them doing it the way that Pokemon releases, to where like if they did release a bundle, then like it would be Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask separately, but then you could also buy the bundle. Like you could have bought Eevee and Pikachu together. I think there was a bundles for the 2 Oracle games when they released as well. So I could see them doing that, and then they could make money from the individual sales as well as money from the $100 bundle together. What about you, Tubes? What about you?
As you guys mentioned, it would be the best way to get
You
people
have
to
something on
played-
your nose.
It's a nose piercing. I have 2.
Oh,
And also glasses. I mean, glasses are technically on my nose.
yeah.
Where they reside. They rest on your nose and ears.
You have glasses,
anyways,
Daniel?
I think that
No, no,
no,
not yet.
that train of thought keeps leaving. Definitely, like, it's a good way to get people that haven't played all these other Zelda games to play them, and cash grab for Nintendo, I'd buy that. How many times do I gotta buy the game for me to buy a bundle with all of them? Tune in next time as I buy Breath of the Wild for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I have it for Wii U and Switch.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I always...
I had it for both. I ended up actually selling my Wii U copy, but I mean, yeah, I still have 2 Switch copies of Breath of the Wild, and if they did and I have, you know, like Majora's Mask, basically 2 versions and plus a ROM hack of it, and so I mean, I just like
Right?
I would still buy the bundle. That's the thing. So
I think just like the bundle, and also like if they packaged it differently, would be a really big sign for collectors.
that's true.
Yeah, that's what I got.
So everybody went?
Yeet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, I am Game Over Jesse, or Jesse. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook. We have a Facebook fan page. Sounds weird saying that, but I guess that's what Facebook calls it. It's a Facebook fan page, facebook.com/GameOverJesse. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram. Everything is literally just /GameOverJesse. There's a Facebook group as well that you can join. There's a few people in there that chat. There's the Discord that everyone chats in. There's like 1,100 something people in it. The biggest, to my knowledge, most popular Zelda Discord server in the world. And yeah, I guess that's everything. Ilya, hi. You just passed 100,000 subscribers. No.
No.
1,000 subscribers.
That would be a huge jump. And I
Like,
wouldn't know what to do.
Game Over Jesse and subs. Done. Peace out, guys.
No. Oh. Wait. Hold on. We might have actually. No. Aw. Okay. So we're really close to 73,000.
73?
But we're at 73,953. I thought we were gonna pass
72?
it. No, it says 53. 72,953.
Okay.
You said
73,900.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But we knew what you meant.
Yeah, but less than 50.
yes.
So.
But yeah, I am the Geek Apprentice, which you can find me on both YouTube and Instagram by that name. I just passed 1,000 subscribers and have a video talking about that. Yeah, I make very geeky videos, Harry Potter, Zelda, Disney. I have a Marvel video that'll be coming like in the next couple months or something. And this Saturday I have a Q&A live stream. I might play games or something. And you can check out the video I posted today for information about celebrating 1,000. So check me out there if you would like. Yay.
Right. Choops.
Okay. I am Shubalima. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram. What else do I use?
RuneScape.
Yeah, Twitter and Instagram are like the big places. I post most often on Twitter, so you can follow me at Shublima. I finally have a computer desk, so I am ready to rumble and ready to stream again. Not tomorrow though, because I have a ramen date with friends. But
Banjo.
no, I rage quit on Banjo. When I pop on stream again, I will be finishing Ocarina of Time. I just finished the Water Temple. Yeah.
You're good.
That's me. That's what I do.
Daniel.
Yeah, I'm Daniel. You feel free to, if you feel so inclined, you can follow me on Twitter and Twitch at CaptBurgerson, CaptBurgerson. You can also check out my website where I post all my other projects, and if you're interested in seeing, maybe want to pay me to do a thing for you, including not pay me for the free music that's on there, whatever. If you like video stuff, go check out my website. It's burgersonmedia.com. and my YouTube channel, which I actually have some video ideas finally, time in like a friggin' year. I recently uploaded a video and then got some ideas actually cooking here, so check that out. That's NSHG Films. You probably have seen me in the chat there. Yes, other than that, I typically stream on Twitch under Cap Ferguson Tuesdays and Wednesdays, at least once or twice a week on those days. Just finished A Link to the Past. There were some issues with getting my N64, both of them, to work on the stream. So we just started streaming Blossom Tales, which is a really great indie game that we've talked about on the podcast before. Very Zelda-esque. You guys should go and check that out. But yeah, that's who this human is. So thank you guys. And who's Jesse?
Oh, I already said.
You already
no, say it again.
I am the geek apprentice, Ilya.
No, I am the geek apprentice.
I am part Kokori. Is that how you say it? Kokori?
Kokiri. I'm the one that voiced the Kokiri.
Yeah. I posted all of our things in the chat. Thank you to the 40 people still here, almost at midnight Eastern time, watching us. I assume there would have been a lot more, but we had like 5 false starts, so they probably
technical difficulty.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Tune in next week around this time. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about some other stuff, but bye.
Bye.
How do I stop it?
You hit stop stream. Keep waving.